Good afternoon. Former Senator Leila de Lima says she would start redeeming her name after being granted bail on her remaining drug case. On Monday, de Lima was released from the custodial facility of the Philippine National Police's headquarters in Camp Crame following the grant of her bail plea. In a press conference shortly after her release, de Lima recounts her almost 7 years in detention, tagging it as both a curse and a blessing.
I've always considered my detention, my unjust detention, as both a curse and a blessing. It's a curse because I don't deserve it at all. It's a blessing because there are many things also that I've learned while in detention.
De Lima has already been acquitted of 2 charges filed against her, which her camp has continuously maintained as trumped up. She says that now is her chance to rebuild her life, adding she will work towards complete vindication.
This is my opportunity because, they destroyed my life. And that's why I'm going to rebuild my life now. They destroyed or ruined my name, my reputation. Now that I'm free, I'm going to work hard to redeem my name. And vindication, complete vindication, is the key.
The United States says it welcomes former Senator Leila de Lima's release on bail as it urges the Philippines to resolve her last drug case. U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller says the U.S. welcomed de Lima's release on a bail after almost 7 years of detention, quote, on politically motivated drug charges. According to Miller, the U.S. is urging the Philippines to resolve de Lima's remaining drug case in a manner that is consistent with its international human rights obligations and commitments. Meanwhile, U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines, Mary Kay Carlson, also says de Lima's release was welcome news as she looks forward to the resolution of de Lima's remaining drug case. For their part, European Ambassador to the Philippines, Luo Veron, says the European Union called de Lima's release a significant step for rule of law in the Philippines. The Embassy of Canada in the Philippines says it would continue to follow de Lima's situation closely, with the expectation of a rapid resolution of proceedings in the case against her. A Muntinlupa court on Monday granted de Lima's petition for bail for her remaining drug case, prompting her release from detention after nearly 7 years. The Philippine Coast Guard is set to receive an ample increase in its budget for next year. During the Senate plenary deliberations on the proposed budget of PCG, Senate Minority Leader Coco Pimentel asks for an explanation on the need to increase the PCG allocation by 1.3 billion pesos. Senator Grace Poe says the PCG was spending 1.7 billion pesos yearly for fuel alone. She adds that most PCG vessels were inoperable as these had not been maintained due to insufficient funds. Poe also stresses that the PCG is the country's first line of defense in the West Philippine Sea.
Actually, the Senate gave the most increase in their budget given the scenario that we have right now in the West Philippine Sea. Sila yung ating first line of defense doon. Eh kung wala namang gasolina para patakbuhin yung mga barko nila, walang mangyayari. Hindi tayo makaka-inspect.
PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, earlier said that the plan of Congress to boost the PCG funding would support its operational capability in performing its role in the West Philippine Sea. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri says the PCG would be very happy and pleasantly surprised with the Senate's increase of its budget. The State Weather Bureau says the tropical depression east of southeastern Mindanao has weakened into a low-pressure area, but it may intensify into a cyclone again before it enters the Philippine area of responsibility. According to Pag-asa, the weather disturbance may reach PAR either late Wednesday or early Thursday. Pag-asa says the LPA is moving south-southwestward at 10 kilometers per hour and will continue in that direction while gradually intensifying until Friday. If it regains strength to become a tropical depression, it will be given domestic name Kabayan once it enters PAR. Meanwhile, based on Pag-asa's 11 a.m. advisory, the shear line on Tuesday will bring significant amount of rains over mainland Cagayan, Isabela, Quirino, Aurora, Quezon, Bicol region, northern Samar, eastern Samar, and Samar. The shear line is the weather system forming when cold and warm winds converge. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Former Senator Laila de Lima set to visit her 91-year-old ailing mother in Iriga City after being released on bail. U.S. and other envoys welcome de Lima's release on bail. And tropical depression east of Mindanao weakens into a low-pressure area. But Pag-asa says it may re-intensify once it enters the Philippine area of responsibility. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.